Everyone. Welcome everyone. I'm Robbie with Herd and just wanted to thank you for joining. We're excited for our friends at Barry's to provide some helpful information about social media and AI for therapists. Um, with Kim, helping us out with that. If you're unfamiliar with Herd, we are a financial platform that's built for private practice. And so therapists and wellness practitioners can save time and money with accounting software designed to manage and grow your practice. And then now I'll pass it over to Tal to kind of get us lead us into then Kim taking it from there.
Thank you so much, Robbie. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I am Tal, one of the co-founders of Berries. Berries is an AI assistant for mental health professionals. We help over 9,000 clinicians today. We believe in what you are doing and in your work, and we try to empower you with AI. And we have today Kim, our clinical consultant, our amazing clinical consultant, to help us with some tricks and tips on how to leverage AI for social media. I'll be with the Q&A, so feel free to ask anything. And Kim, the stage is yours.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Tolson. I'm the clinical consultant for Barry's. I also run the Clinical AI Club for therapists. It's a membership group that helps therapists learn how to use AI in their private practice. And the training I want to do today is something we do in the Clinical AI Club. And we were saying, like, what would therapists really benefit from? We were like social media content creation, because it's really the bane of our existence to try to market our practice, but also do social media content when we're not really content creators. So this is a workshop to walk you through how to create a GPT in ChatGPT to make your social media content creation much easier for you. So do we have a poll, Tal, or are we doing that?
Yes,
Okay. Are you already doing that in the back end?
I'm launching it right now.
Okay, so we do have a poll. We just wanted to ask you all a couple of questions before we got started. Like, how do you currently feel about creating content for social media? Most people I talk to do not like it at all. Have you ever used AI tools like ChatGPT to help with social media? And what's your biggest challenge with social media? And hopefully I'm going to hit all of those today, but we do like to figure out where you're all at before we get started with it.
So it seems like a lot of people feel overwhelmed and unsure.
Okay.
Most of the people, 48%. Um, it seems like most of the people didn't use ChatGPT for social media, not yet, but they
Okay.
want to.
Hmm.
Um,
Great.
and what's your biggest challenge with social media? It seems like knowing what to post.
Okay.
People want to know what to post, which makes
Okay.
total sense.
Total sense, because it's that blank page syndrome, kind of like I don't know what to post. That can be overwhelming. So just to get started, I found this study that talks about clinicians that basically spend 20.3% of their work hours on non-clinical tasks. And one of the big ways they do that is on marketing and social media. That's a huge time suck for a lot of therapists trying to run their own private practices or group practices, trying to promote themselves, market themselves. And it's a burden. Marketing is a burden for a lot of therapists. And the burnout risk. So 85% of providers in this study found that the administrative burden contributes to professional burnout. And then, of course, the more time you spend doing stuff like that, the less time you have to actually see your clients, that one-on-one contact with your clients where you're actually making money and helping more people, which is the reason we got into the field to begin with. So AI-powered content creation saves 5 to 10 hours monthly, maybe even more, depending on how long it's taking you to create this stuff, if you're even already creating it. So implementing AI tools for social media content creation delivers measurable time savings and practice growth for therapists. So I came up with a system that I teach my Clinical AI Club members, and it's you want to plan, you want to create, you want to publish. It's pretty simple. But using custom GPTs and ChatGPT can help you reduce that content creation time by 75%. And that's been reported to me sort of anecdotally by the Clinical AI Club members that when they use this method, it really helps them get that content out there so they can focus on their client. And then having templates and automations after you've created the content to make the process easier can really be a time saver too. So we're limited on time, so I'm not sure we're going to get to all of this, but I'm going to try. First, before we just get into any of it, I just want to make a little note. Professional standards ensure compliance, right? So if you're using ChatGPT, you want to make sure you're not putting any client information in to like develop content. You want to make sure you don't connect your ChatGPT to anything like your email, your Google Drive, or anywhere that there's PHI, because it's really easy to connect ChatGPT to those places, and that would definitely be a HIPAA violation. So you want to be really careful with that stuff. Scope limitations. So if you're posting educational content, you want to make sure that you're differentiating between this is education and this is not treatment that I'm offering to just random people on the internet. So you want to have really good boundaries around what type of advice you're giving. Transparency, consider optional AI assisted disclosure notes. So especially with Instagram, right? If you're using AI generated content, like maybe images or anything like that, you have to note that you're using that. And you always want to do like a human review of the content this is creating, because it's really easy to like build this thing we're going to build today and then have it create a really robust caption for you, copy, paste it, drop it over there and go about your day. But AI does hallucinate. It does make up weird things. It'll say weird things sometimes. So you have to review the output before you post it on social media, even though it's very tempting. You start to trust your tools and not think about it. So I'd like to emphasize that too. And then crisis protocol. You're probably, if you're a therapist, you're talking about content that might be triggering to people. It might be talking about suicide, all kinds of different topics that can be triggering. So you always want to have disclosures in your content around, this is educational, but if you need help, dial 988 or look for the National Suicide Hotline in your state. That sort of information can be really helpful in your content when you're creating it. And we're going to train this GPT to already know that, so you don't have to think about it too much, but I do like to put that out there. Now, this is the 3-tiered content system that I've developed to help therapists do this better. So first, we've got to develop our brand voice. So we're defining our unique voice, our values, our boundaries, and a structured template that guides all of our content. And then AI research and use of AI tools, which we're going to talk about today, building out custom tools that know you and your personality and your niche and all of that stuff. We're going to talk about that. And then lastly, after you figure out how to do that, we need to automate the publishing and the workflow to make it easier for you. So let's hop over here. The first part is defining your voice in under 5 minutes with a brand workbook that I've given you all. And Tal, I want to ask you, do they have access to our whole drive, our whole folder here?
Yeah, so we shared this file with them,
Okay.
and also the
Okay.
hook.
Okay. So you all should have access. If you didn't see it before, you can do this later after the fact. We're going to send a follow-up email with the replay and everything. So you'll be able to get this information. But there's a document in here called Brand Voice, AI Training, Therapy, Mental Health. So when you open that, it's going to look like a workbook that I created. Barry's and I created this together for you to help you develop that brand voice. And this is kind of what it looks like in the raw version before you open it up. In here, we're talking about our niche, our audience, like who are we trying to attract to us, our ideal client, our ideal customer, our core values. So identifying at least 3 core values that we want to come through in our social media. Our tone traits. So do we want to be professional? Do we want to be funny? Do we want to be controversial? That sort of thing. No-go topics. So topics we never want our social media or our GPT to generate for us. We never want to talk about a certain topic. And the disclaimers and resources that we talked about before. So this guide, you can download it if you want to. You can fill it in. You can go to like Adobe and fill it in if you want to. You can download on your phone and like put the text in if you want to. But my hack for this is to go over to ChatGPT, start a new ChatGPT thread just by going to the top here. Take your workbook, blank, upload it here, I gotta move my Zoom thing out of here. See this little plus down here? If some of you are really new to ChatGPT, you can upload things right here. Upload the document and put in a prompt like this. It says this workbook is meant to guide me through building my brand voice, and I want you to guide me through the workbook. So once you do that, you're going to hit enter, and it's going to guide you through completing this workbook really quick. And it's going to give sort of a walkthrough outline of asking you all the questions about yourself, so it gets to know you better and that sort of thing. And it's going to go one question at a time. Now, if you're like me and you use ChatGPT all the time, it's already going to know you. So you can use a prompt and say, go ahead and answer the entire workbook based on what you already know about me. And mine, of course, I've been using this for 3 years. It knows everything about me. So it went through and it already did it for me. It developed my brand voice for me. So what you can do now, you've got this whole brand voice developed, and you can go down here to the bottom and you can say, write it for me as a PDF. You can ask ChatGPT to create all of that content into a PDF for you. And this is what is now your brand voice. So you can upload this anytime you want. Any AI that you're using now, it's going to know everything about you. You upload this document and it's super familiar with who you are, your tone, your values, and all of that. So you don't have to keep repeating that process over and over again with AI that you're using. So I want to ask Tal, is there any questions about that part of the process?
So no questions for now, but I just shared the link in the chat for everyone.
Okay, great.
So it's available for you in the chat.
Awesome. So we want to have this to be able to create the GPT. This is the part that's going to make this super customizable to you as the clinician that's trying to do your own social media. So we've got our guide. Now you've got this, you download it to your computer, you can save it, you can have it forever. The next piece of this is something called deep research. A lot of people don't realize you could do this with ChatGPT, but what you do is you come over, let me do a new tab here. In ChatGPT, if you start a new thread and you click right here, there's a deep research feature that you can use that's going to research whatever you want it to research. If it's competitors in your niche or something like that, you can do that. But for our purposes, I use deep research to create this guide right here. It's called the Complete Social Media Mastery Guide for Therapists, a Comprehensive Training Manual. So Tal and I were talking about this and kind of joking. This PDF is 107 pages long. Okay. So I trained this document basically through deep research in ChatGPT to understand, who are the top therapists out there in the world on Instagram and other social media that are attracting clients to them. What methods are they using? It's basically a competitor analysis of all of the social media marketing. It also pulled information from all the social media marketing experts out there and different ways that you can be successful in social media. So this is a comprehensive guide, 107 pages. Now, if you don't want to use my guide, you don't have to, but I'm showing you the process that I use to get this, because we're going to use this document to also train our GPT to be an expert social media content creator for therapists based on therapist content, what's trending, what works, and all of that by using that deep research document that I already kind of did for you, like the DIY for you. Now, if you want to do it yourself and you want to build your GPT differently, you can use a prompt like this that says research current Instagram strategies for therapists serving population, location, your niche. Maybe you just like work in like Chicago, Illinois, and you just want to like focus on therapists in that area that are advertising and using Instagram, that sort of thing. So you can do deep research yourself and then look for the 4 top trending therapists on social media that serve my niche. So let's say you specialize in PTSD for adolescents or something. Include 4 to 6 content pillars, best performing reel formats, trending hook formulas, optimal cadence, accessibility, and mental health ethics. Cite examples. So you can do your own research based on like your particular niche if you want to do that, if you don't want to use my guide, or you can use both. Some people like to put tons of training content into their GPTs. So that's the second part of this, is the deep research. And then the last part of it is building out the GPT, which is what I want to show you guys how to do right now. But I want to stop for a second and just see, do we have any questions so far? Is this making sense? Sort of the building blocks to making the social media content creation machine that we're going to build.
So I guess everyone feel free to ask questions. We just got a question about accessing the Google Drive folder.
Okay.
So please sending everything by email by the end of the webinar as well. So
Yes.
don't worry,
Okay.
you'll get all the links, all the
You'll get
resources.
all this. Yeah, definitely. So what I want to do is talk now about building a GPT. Now, to build a
Mhm.
GPT, you have to have the paid level of ChatGPT, and that's $20 a month. And I highly recommend it because there's so much you can do to run your private practice just using ChatGPT. But if you don't, anything I talk about today, you can literally just start a chat thread and you can upload the documents that I just showed you, your brand guide that you created, and also that 107-page document that I created. You can upload those just by adding photos and files to a chat thread. And then this particular chat thread is going to be your source for social media content creation. You can do it like that on the free version if you want to. The version I'm going to show today is for people that have the paid version. And the reason I recommend that is if you just train one chat thread, you're always going to have to come back to this particular chat thread. You're always going to have to consult it. And what happens with ChatGPT is you lose your chat threads. They go away, they disappear, you can't find them, you can't remember what it was called. So it becomes a huge problem for people. And then you're having to train a new chat thread again on all of this that we're talking about today. So the great thing about building a GPT is this GPT now, it has the training material, it knows everything about you, it knows what its purpose is, and it's a very specialized bot that you can go back to time and time again, and it's going to already know what its purpose is. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I've got 5 minutes to create content for this week, you're going to go hit your GPT that you created and use it, and it's going to just give you some really good content to be able to just pop on Instagram and not have to think too much about it, or Instagram or LinkedIn or wherever you want to promote. So in ChatGPT, we come right here under this little tab called GPTs. You're going to see this come up. This is a GPT store, which are free GPTs that people have built for you to use if you want to. And there's probably social media ones on here that you can search for and try to use if you want, upload your brand guide. But what we're going to do today is create our own. So anybody that's following along, I would love for you to hit that create button at the top under GPTs, and you're going to get brought into this back end of ChatGPT. So let me just make sure, is everybody following along okay with this? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take that as a yes.
So we got
So what we're
another
going to,
question.
oh, okay. Yes.
Where to find the create button?
Oh,
And
sure.
someone
Let's go
said that
back.
this is good information building out a GPT account, a ChatGPT account. I guess
Yes.
she's asking.
Let me
Yes.
go back out. So just for those of you that are doing this, if you go on the main panel over here and it says GPTs right here, you click on that, and then up in this top right corner, you'll see my GPTs. So these are ones that you built right here. And then right here is the way to create a new one. Can everybody see that in the top right corner? It's like a little plus. So I'm going to hit create, and then this takes us in the back end of the GPT. So I hope everybody's following along with that. And if anybody needs help, feel free after this to reach out to me. I'll help you with this too if you need help trying to figure this stuff out.
Also, Kim, I think that someone asked about creating a ChatGPT account. So I guess yes,
Oh,
it will.
okay.
You should create your ChatGPT account and follow Kim. That will help you learn how to actually do it.
Yep.
Uh,
If you go to chatgpt.com, it's super easy to set up an account and it's free, and you can do it in a chat thread. And really, you can do this with any of the AIs. I prefer ChatGPT. So there's Claude, there's Gemini, there's Perplexity. There's a lot of different free AIs out there that are kind of similar to this, but all of them require the paid version to build out like specialized bots like this. But you can do it just in a regular old chat thread too.
Kim, also two
Um,
people asked about the Plus version. So we have an alternative, right?
the
Instead of
the
instead
plus,
of upgrading the ChatGPT, they can
yes.
put it in the chat, right?
Yep, yep. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So what we're going to do today is for the paid version. So you have it's $20 a month version. But right here, just in general, you can upload all the documents I'm going to upload, all the training prompts that I'm going to tell you about today. You can literally put these in a chat thread right here and it's going to retain all that information. You just have to come back to this chat thread every time. And this is for free accounts. You can do it this way. So either way you can do it. And maybe if we have time, I'll come back and just show how to do that over here too. Or maybe I'll flip back and forth to make sure everybody can do it. In your GPT, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this because I know we're super time limited with this content today, but I want to show you the back end of this. So create and configure are your two options here. So I have put a prompt for you in the folder that I shared with you. Prompts to use with ChatGPT is this document right here, and it looks like this. I have put a prompt to get you started, and you can do this in the regular chat thread, or you can do it when you're building the GPT, and I'll show you how to do both. I'm going to drop this prompt right here, and it says, I'm a therapist. I got to move my Zoom bar out of the way. Sorry, the Zoom bar is getting in my way. I'm a therapist who specializes in a certain niche. I need to create a social media GPT to help me create social media content. I have some training documents I want to give you to help you understand how I want this GPT to function. Okay, so that's your basic prompts. Sorry, I cannot get my Zoom bar out of the way here. And you go ahead and click start. Just like that, you hit the arrow. And if you're not using the paid version, you can come over here. You can paste the same prompt and you can say how I want this. You could just say this chat thread to function. So you can literally do the same thing over here. This is the free version. This is the paid version. I recommend the paid version. It works a lot better. So here's what I'll do right now. It's talking to me. So with ChatGPT, it talks back to you. So you can have a conversation with it and explain to it what you want it to do. And it's always going to ask you, what should we call this GPT? It's going to suggest the name for you. That's fine. You can call it whatever you want. Kim's social media content bot. You can name it whatever you want. You could tell it that. But for our purposes, I'm just going to say, yes, that sounds good. And it's going to name it that. And then it always wants to do this thing where it creates a little picture for you. So I'm going to show you that. It's generating a profile picture. And then once we get past these initial stages, I'm going to show you just the easiest way to do this by uploading these documents that I've already put in the file folder for you. It's thinking. It's usually not this slow. Okay. All right. So it came up with a picture for me. And if you really are particular about this stuff, you can tell it to change the picture if you want to. And I'll just say, looks good. So I put that in there. Now, what we can do with these specialized GPTs, and you could do this for anything. If you want to learn more about SEO or, you know, onboarding a client or hiring clients, that sort of thing, you could build these out for anything. And you can add deep research to them to make them like super smart little bots. But this one's going to be our social media one. So if you come back to our folder, you can download this guide that I gave you, the complete social media guide. And I'm going to come back to the GPT and I'm just going to, usually you can click this button. The last like 5 days, for some reason, ChatGPT is not letting us do that. So I'm going to literally go into my files where I downloaded this document. And you take it and drag it over and you drop it in here. Just like that. I just dropped this file. That's the 107-page PDF that I was telling you all about. That's the Brand Voice AI training guide. And you just say, this is the marketing structure I want you to follow when helping me create content. So you put that in there and you hit enter. It's so easy because you can just chat back and forth with this thing and teach it exactly how you want it to do things. But great, you know, I'm glad we already have this like training document ready because now it's going to know exactly how to perform. If you did want to use a training document, you could talk back and forth with it and tell it how you want it to perform with creating social media for you. It says, got it. Your marketing structure is now built in, so the therapy content creator will follow it whenever generating posts and strategies. So I did that. Now the next piece that's going to make it specific to you is that brand guide that we created in the beginning. So I've created one. I downloaded it as a PDF and it's called Kim's Brand Voice Guide. I'm going to drop that over here as well. I'm going to say this is everything you need to know about me as a therapist and content creator, because I do more content creation than therapy these days. Content creation. So you could put something like that. It doesn't have to be super sophisticated. You could just tell it what the document is that you're trying to put in to train it about your brand voice. So I'm going to click that. This is excellent. Your personal brand and content creation preferences are now integrated. Therapy content creator will follow both your marketing structure and your therapist identity document when generating content. So how would you like this GPT to talk? Warm, conversational. So you can really get into the weeds with this and spend a lot of time with training this thing exactly how you want it to interact with you. I'm just going to copy this and say, you know, I want you to be warm and conversational with me. So I'm just going to train it a little bit more. And this could go on for quite some time, and you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can literally just upload those 2 documents I just told you, and you're going to have a great social media content machine already ready for you to use. Now, for those of you that don't have the paid version, coming back over here, I just want to show you how to do it in a chat thread. It's the exact same thing. Those prompts I just used, we're just going to put it over here, and I would then proceed to upload your training documents, define your core case uses and all that. So I would also now click the plus down in the bottom, and I'm going to upload my brand voice that I just showed you all that we did before, and also the content creation guide that I already created for you. So I would upload those, and then this chat thread is going to function pretty similarly to the GPT that we're building out. Now, do we have any questions, Tal? How are we doing?
We're good for now.
We're good? Okay, let me take a sip. I drink here. Okay. The next part of this that I want you guys to see is there's another tab. I just switched tabs. I was in the Create tab. Now I'm in the Configure tab. So we've got the name of our GPT, which you can change if you don't like it, what it does, and it's already trained it on the instructions on how we want it to interact, because we gave it a file and it already knows how to interact now. And this here is something you can customize, and a lot of people like to customize these. They're conversation starters. So after we've deployed this bot, you can see over here on this is like a preview version over here, a preview of what the GPT is going to look like. There's prompts that are already in here. So write an Instagram caption about self-care in my niche, or give me a TikTok idea to explain a concept simply. And we've got some prompts here. Now you can play with these, and you could change these prompts right here. If there's some quick things, like if you know every week you want to be able to post something about eating disorders, psychoeducational content about eating disorders, you could train these little buttons to already have that programmed in there. So it's just that quick. You just hit the button when you go into the bot, and it's going to give you that information. You don't even have to type anything in. So that makes it super easy. That's like a hot button you can use. Just a couple little notes down here. The files we uploaded are uploaded here. You can also upload things this way, but I prefer to do it the other way, like in a conversational format. Recommended models. A lot of people ask me about this. ChatGPT 5 recently came out, and it's not that great. You know, we were all real excited about it, but it's actually not that great. So I do recommend 4 as long as you can use it, because it's just a lot better understanding instructions and that sort of thing. Code interpreter and data analysis. I always like to check that in case you want to make like content charts or Excel spreadsheets or anything based on this that you're going to be creating in here. It's a little more sophisticated if you check that. So I do recommend checking that. And once you've done this, you could just leave right now, and we'll save it as a GPT that you can use over and over again. But what I wanted to show you in the drive I gave you, let me get back over here. I did put some other content in here that you could also upload if you wanted to. One of them is hooks for social media. So it's 100 hooks for content creation. In here, you can upload this document to just give it some good ideas. Although it's pretty smart now that we've already trained it. And then formats for different social media, like formats that work really well based on research and that sort of thing that I've done on ChatGPT to figure out which formulas are best. So let me make sure I hit everything over here. Enable web browsing test with sample content request. Okay, so
Kim, we got a question from the audience.
okay,
Rhonda
yes.
asked, do we need to develop our own brand voice guide, or do we use yours?
You could totally use mine. That's why I created the workbook for you. If you saw in the beginning how I just uploaded it to ChatGPT, and I told mine just to fill it in because it already knows me, or you can have ChatGPT walk you through the questions, or you can literally download it, write in it yourself, and upload it to ChatGPT, and it can read it that way too. So you can use it any way you want to, but it's a pretty good one. So I recommend just using that, not trying to recreate the wheel on that one. Okay, so let's see. So I wanted to just talk about, before we move forward with it, we want to test it to make sure it's good now that we've trained it, because you can go back and forth with it and test it to see if it's giving you good output and give it feedback to say, I don't like the way you answered that question. I want you to always answer it this way or that way. So what I did is I created this prompt guide that you can use with your GPT. And I just want to test one of these to see what happens with the model that I just made. I just want to show you how to do the testing, because you can go back and forth and still continue to train it. So I want to hit, and with this, I could just even say Instagram focused on my niche, my brand, whatever, because it knows me now, right? I've already uploaded a document, so it already knows everything about me. I don't have to recreate the wheel and tell it again. Like, I'm a therapist that specializes in PTSD, and I want to help 18 to 24-year-olds. Like, I don't have to do any of that because it already knows. So I'm going to hit enter, and this is again the preview of the GPT, and I'm just going to see what it comes up with. So it says, perfect. I'll design a 30-day Instagram content calendar tailored to your niche using the marketing structure from our strategy guide and your personal brand voice. So let's see what it comes up with. So my niche, my brand guide is I help therapists use AI to run their private practices. I also teach therapists how to, bill insurance in their practice and travel the world as a digital nomad, because I do all three of those things. So I'm curious what it's going to give us here. Let's see. It is AI business support is what it's pulling on right now. So it's giving me week 1. It's going through the different categories. It's saying post a reel on the #1 myth about running a private practice. Myth busting, right? 5 signs you might be stuck in the one-to-one trap, right? Because I do a lot about scaling your business and bringing in digital offers and other income streams. So it's giving me all of these ideas already that I can just use for my social media. And it's given me 30 days worth. Posting 5 times a week, 2 days later, days keep you consistent without burnout. It's even protecting me against burnout, because my training document says that therapists are burned out with trying to do social media content. So it's protecting me around that a little bit. It's giving me some calls to action and that sort of thing, and some other things about my tone: casual, encouraging, and practical. So the way this works is there's tons of other prompts, but we could literally take this first suggestion and say, give me the content for this reel. I copied it. I'm going to paste it in there. And it already knows what works, right? As far as content goes and my brand and all of that. So it's literally giving me a reel script now. And if you guys, some of you may not even know what a reel is, but if you go on Instagram, the videos, the people talking with little captions and that sort of thing. And it's saying the #1 myth about running a private practice. So it's given me a hook to go on the screen, because my document trained it that hooks are really important to pulling people into your content. The biggest myth I hear about private practice, that you have to do it all on your own. Okay. So then it goes into, this is the format that it recommends that you use on social media. It goes into educational and then normalizing it. So it's normal for all of us to think we have to do it all on our own. And then it gives some tips around how to manage that. And then it gives you a call to action. So your private practice doesn't have to feel like a solo survival mission. You can create freedom and flexibility by leading with support, not just the job hustle. So for me, this is perfect, right? Because I sell content that helps therapists not get burned out and make their private practices run more smoothly. So this is perfect for me to just go pop over on Instagram and, be able to have that content really easily put out there. I didn't really even have to think about it, because it already knows everything about me. It's even giving me like visual suggestions on like a video, how to do the video, how to put the caption. It's giving me a caption idea. It's even giving me hashtags to be able to put on our social media. So I don't even have to think about what hashtags to use. And it's super smart because now we've programmed it to know that we need all of these components given to us. So let me ask, does anybody have questions about the preview here and what I just did there with the prompts? I just want to check in and see.
Yeah, it's a good time. We also opened the chat for everyone if it's easier for you to ask
Oh,
questions there.
yeah, let me see. I can see the chat. Let me look.
I think we answered all of the questions that we got there, but if anyone have other questions, feel free.
Yeah, if you have other questions about this, let me know. So once you get to this step in the process, you are going to hit create up in the top corner. And you have a choice now. You can make it just for only you to see. You can share it with people. So let's say that you have a virtual assistant, right? You want to hire somebody to do your social media for you, like templates and Canva or something like that. But you want them to be able to know your brand voice and how you like to talk and all that without you even having to do this step. You can share this GPT with people. So you can select this one and then you get a link and you just give it to your VA. I've got a million of these built out for my VAs and she knows which one to go to depending on which task she's doing. And she already knows my voice. So I don't have to like coach her through it every time or go back and edit a bunch of stuff because she gets it from the GPTs I built out. Or the GPT store. You can make it public if you want to, but in this case, you probably wouldn't want to make your social media GPT public. So anyone with the link, you click save and it's creating this for you now. It just takes a little bit, but now it's published, right? And you have a link right here to share with your VA if you want to. And you've got your GPT saved. And let me give it a minute to think. It's taking a second. Okay. And then you come back out, leave that screen and go back to your main GPT page. And you're going to see it over here. These are all GPTs I've built out, but the one you just created is going to be over here in this list. Let me see, where is it? Oh, I've got so many. Therapy content creator. So right here, now you have it. Now it's like your own personalized bot. So every time you want to create social media content, you come over, you pull up this GPT, you click on one of these predetermined captions that you want, or you can use, some of the prompts in this prompt guide that I've given you with a bunch of different prompts. You could take a hook from the 100 hooks that I already gave you, one that you like, copy and paste it and say, I want you to do a whole, content around this hook. It's going to do that for you. Really easy. Now you have this thing for, the rest of your life that you can use anytime you want to produce social media content. If it starts getting wonky or you don't like the way it's answering, you can always come up to the top here and you can edit your GPT like this. You just edit it. It takes you back into the editing screen and you can say, you know what, you answered this way. I want you to remember to always answer it this way. So you can always go back and train it further if you want to. If you get a new like digital product or something, you can come back over here and say, you know what, I used to just only be a therapist, but now I'm offering this course as well. So I want to tell you about the course. So now it knows about everything that you're doing. So anytime you update your business, you can update this over here too. Any questions about that? Yeah, I don't think so. I see one
Oh,
in
we
the
got
chat.
is
Is
the
the
GPT
GT
published?
published?
Yeah, you got it, Kim.
I see it now. Is the GPT published as in anyone with the link, or is there a hub where published chats are? This is anyone you share the link with. So if you pick, there's a public, you can choose a public one. If you choose the public one, it's going to be like anybody can access it in that GPT store that I showed you in the beginning. But if you choose anyone with the link, it's only people that you share the link with will be able to access it. So nobody can access it unless you share the link with them. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, I'm going to move on, but if you guys need me to come back for anything, let me know. And I just wanted to hit on like proven frameworks to show you that I did put a document in there to show you the different frameworks that you can use. Your GPT is already going to know this stuff, but in case you're curious, like what frameworks work with social media, which ones don't, I did put a document in here for you to have access to. um, these formulas, these are tried and true. So if you're like, catch, I don't know, you could copy one of these, put it into your GPT that you just built out and said, based on what you know about me, I want you to make social media content that follows this formula that I know is a tried and true formula that helps people get viral content consistently. So you could do that. And then let me come over here to the next. The hooks, let's try out our social media GPT. I already did this. Copy these. This is the way just to test it and see if it's performing the way you want it to. If you get an answer you don't like, you can say immediately, I don't want you to answer it this way. I'd like you to answer it this way. Go back and train it a little bit further. And then do we have time? We got, at what time are we ending at 12:45, Tal? Because I wanted to show them
Oh,
Canva real
yeah.
quick.
Yeah. Scheduled to 45.
Okay. Okay. I'm not going to get into this, but I just want to tell you guys that you can go over to Canva. You can pick, well, I'll show it real quick, just real quick, because I can't stand it. I'll show you. You could go in and go in Canva. It's free. You can go to the home page and um, you could pick basically social media in here. You could pick the type of content you want. Let's say we want to do an Instagram reel. You could pick that. And there's thousands of templates inside of Canva that you can choose. If you don't know what to do, you could just pick one of these and pop your content onto a template. You've got a reel, you download it and upload it to Instagram. It's super easy. Copy the caption from your GPT that you just built out and you're done. So it's that easy. And there's brand guides in here where you can build out your colors and logos and all of that too, to make it even easier to use like these templates. And I wanted to touch on that because this is part of the time saving too. Like you can have the content, but creating it takes a lot of time. So there are tools to help you with that. Canva's a great one. CapCut, IG edits, TikTok, Repurpose IO, ManyChat, all of those are really helpful for content creation. And then this is just a routine that I recommend to my people in the Clinical AI Club. So 5 minutes on content creation using the GPT that you just built out. Refine the content, make sure it sounds like you, make sure it meets all those ethical requirements we talked about, and then design and schedule. So you can just easily go design it in Canva or just hop on IG edits and like talk into the video and put the caption over it, you're done, or the hook over the screen and you're done. And then that's it. So we don't need to go. And then thank you.
Kim, we have another
Question, if you,
question
yes,
in
yes.
the chat about creating GPT in Gemini.
Okay, yep. Gemini's version is called Gems. And I believe you need the paid version for a Gemini Gem, but it's a very similar process where you can upload training documents, you can talk to it and tell it what you want it to do, upload your brand document and save it as a gem, and you can use it the same way as we're using the ChatGPT today.
And also Gemini, for those who don't know, it's the ChatGPT version of Google.
Yes, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Google's ChatGPT. So again, I'm Kim Tolson. This is Tal, the co-CEO and founder of Berries. And we do love to just let you all know that we love Berries. We think it saves even more time than the social media content creation machine, doing your progress notes, your treatment plans, everything else. And we have a coupon for you for Herd 50 for $50 off your first month. And we do have 20 free sessions for anybody that wants to try it out. No credit card required, which I know everybody loves. You can just go pop in and try it. So anyway, I think I got it all in 45 minutes, Tal.
Kim, thank you so much. We had over 60 people, which is amazing. And I think that
Amazing.
in this kind of webinars, there is so much information. And even if you got one thing, only one thing that you can use in the future, that's super helpful. We will share the recording with everyone and the links as well. And thank you for being here. As I said, we believe in what you do, and we hope we can help you. We hope we helped. And thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks everybody. If you have any
All right.
questions, extremely helpful, blown away by this. Oh, you're welcome, Andy.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Oh, good. You guys reach out if you have questions, if you get stuck. Okay. I know it's a ton of information. You're welcome.
Yeah, feel free to reach
Ah,
out to us. We're available
yes.
all the
I
time.
love all the thank yous. You're so welcome. I love
So
sharing
nice.
this information with people.
That's so nice of them. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kim.
Bye,
Have a good day.
everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Herd. Bye.
Bye.